Well, that's it. That's the cat out of the bag. Basically, we are no longer selling to wholesalers. I've let them know today and yesterday, and it's upsetting because some of the relationships are quite long term. Some I fought for quite a long time, funny enough. Landscape Plus being one of them, actually. I really fought for that relationship for a long, long time. And yeah, and it's hard, but the reality is that we don't make money at wholesale prices. Like, we literally don't make any money. We're more or less basically paying them to take our product ish. So to give you an idea, a micro spike spot, we make somewhere in the region of £7 to £10 gross profit on. Now, by the time you net, there ain't profit. There really isn't. And although we shouldn't be cutting off sales right now, I have to also look at things and go, well, hang on, what's the point in selling something and effectively giving away money? There is none. So we're that's probably the biggest change for us that's happened ever, really, I suppose. So yeah, we're not doing that route anymore, and it's quite sad to me because we've got some decent relationships with our suppliers, but I guess it kind of started with sort of like taking away credit accounts, which is where some of it started. Although we maintained one with Landscape Plus because they're always very good at paying. Everyone else, it's just basically it started with some of that. I mean, don't get me wrong, there were a couple of wholesalers that but we haven't served for a long time. Well, not for for a while. That I was kind of glad not to have sold to anymore. One in particular, actually, a really big national. Every time they pay you, they take away. They discount 2% off of the money they pay you for paying you. Would you believe? So I'm kind of dumb on that side, but generally, I say a lot of the wholesalers I work with have been really good. I remember when we used to do the whisker stuff, the old whisker spikes. Everyone would pay pretty much within 30 days. Sometimes people dragged it out to 60, but most of them were 30 days, and we didn't have credit accounts set up. It was just that we just extended them those terms, and we never got knocked. But I did have to chase a few times, and that was very frustrating. And so that was a part of a change for me, because I was like, I don't want to have to chase people for money when I've delivered the product. But I mean, to be fair, some of these wholesalers were actually keeping stock, which was great. But there were a lot of wholesalers that weren't. They were just ordering as per order. And we've kind of had that with this. Like, no one's kept any stock. I think perhaps if we had some wholesalers with stock, we might have looked at it a little bit differently. But no one does. And that's the reality. And it's one of those frustrating things. In fact, I will tell you, because I like one of our values, open honesty. I don't know if any of you really know this, but we were last year selling. No, there's our values up there. Last year selling our products to Nicholson's, and that was a wholesale, and they actually held stock, and they were the first wholesaler that actually held stock. And that was, so I'm just trying to think now, beginning of last year, I think, was when that started. And the first order, I remember I think we still had the Haas. I remember the Nakamura, and there were a lot of problems, a lot of problems, a lot of quality issues. And that big order came in, and it started off well. Like, the first lot of products, I think, that were delivered were good. And then by the time we were getting to like the last few parts of the order, because we were sort of like sending out order after order to deal with the initial stock delivery, and I think there were some issues, and then we were getting calls saying, when's this coming, we need it. And so we just rushed it out. That used to be kind of the reality, actually. A lot of the time it used to be that we say gave someone a lead time. So let's say I gave you a lead time of 2 weeks, And by the time we've got 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks, and we're still not finished it, you're ringing us saying, we need this, and so it get rushed. And then it was kind of like continuous pain, as in like we were producing stuff that wasn't of the quality standard that we want to. And that, I think that really changed probably end of last year. I mean, like the whole lean thing, like has always been the driver of like removing defects and stuff anyway, but we basically really stamped out, because my fault, sending out stuff that basically wasn't up to standard. But I'm on the phone. I guess it's almost like having the customer service role. It's like I'm on the phone receiving those calls going, we need this product on site now, we're fitting it tomorrow or whatever, and I'm like, guys, we need to get this out, and they're like, well, we've got these problems. I'm like, I don't care, they want it, let's just get it done. Bad decisions, series of bad decisions. All of this is a series of bad decisions. This is, hopefully, if you aren't in business yet and you watch these vlogs, and although you might find them boring as hell, there's some lessons in there. There's a lot of lessons in there. Don't devalue your brand and your quality, and for nothing. You're better off turning around to them and saying, sorry, it's not good enough, I'm not sending this out, you're gonna have to wait another week. And they might get upset about it, but at least you're delivering quality. You lose the client either way. And the problem is that you lose the client when you've got bad quality out there, and that bad quality remains, and some other contractor comes along and sees it and sees, your brand on it and goes, well, that's a pile of crap, glad I don't buy theirs. And it kind of goes back to that. I think I said the other day, like a competitor ringing up and saying about older products and whatnot. That's the reality. But I mean, say the product has been absolutely superb, I should add, has been absolutely amazing for the last year and a bit or whatever. Like everything is just absolutely perfect. Well, stuff happens, but we don't let it go out. Do you know what I mean? It is like sometimes stuff comes up on site or whatever. But really like actually actively making sure that everything that we produce is quality, and that's been the continuous push, which has been working really well. But frustratingly, we're at a stage where we're producing all this quality and we just don't have the orders, and that issue remains. I've not had a new order for a few days now. Well, we got we got a little order for sleeves that was like £300 or something like that, and that was it. And it's not great. It's really not great. And like I say, you would probably watch this and go, well, was that the right decision? But like I say, what's the point in selling stuff to be making a loss on it? And there isn't. There is no point making a loss on it. So we're just changing the way we work a bit. And now I've got to get on and do a push. I've got a lot of work to do, a hell of a lot of work to do. And we need to get realistically at least 10k sales before the end of the month. Will we get it? I don't know. We shall see. Anyway, that's my bombshell drops for you guys. I'll see you on the flip side. We'll see you on Monday.